Newsnight. We carry on with our discussion. Honorable Rigathi Gachagua and Honorable Jeremiah Kioni still here with us for that. And we're seeing your messages as well, which I want to get to at this time. Hashtag is Newsnight. SMS line 22422. This first one, okay, I think this one was actually by Jeremiah Kioni, where he said 27 protected constituencies spread across 16 counties will be scrapped by IEBC after the next general elections. We can't agree to hold elections with our voters spread across 16 counties on the chopping board. A solution before is a must. I think this was posted on his official page, and we did talk about this earlier on. Let's see what else Kenyans are saying this evening. Peter Kimani is saying, Atuoli started the chorus, Kioni is clapping, executive is humming. Extension is driven selfishly for purposes of BBI and referendum, not boundaries. That's a reaction to our debate earlier on. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Jared Nyabura, you say the future of the ruling party is unpredictable. Time will tell. Let's see what else we have here. 2242 is that SMS line. Kisika Sam, you say Jubilee party was like Mary, the mother of Jesus. Her mission was simple, to deliver Jesus and then to disappear after that. Jubilee party's mission was to deliver Uhuru's second term and disappear. Jubilee Reloaded talks is like resuscitating, and I will leave that there. Okay, I'm sure Jeremiah has something to say in regards to that. Kipleting Manuela, you fear that Jubilee is on its deathbed. You don't see a resurrection soon for the ruling party, and you expect the defection of Jubilee members to other political outfits. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Kef Cheru, you say you can't postpone an election to prevent a constitutional crisis and at the same time create another crisis. Elections must be conducted on the second Tuesday of the 5th year or extended as per constitution. Extending otherwise creates a Christmas crisis. Do we have any more? Okay, I'm told we have one or two more. Aizo, you're saying, as a struggling Kenyan, I'm asking why the delimitation debate now? These legislators have had enough time since the last elections. I suspect something fishy. Maybe we take one more. I told you we have so many. Jojo Dhiambo, you say, kindly ask Honorable Gachagua to tell the nation what happened to the August 2012 election. Why did it have to be pushed to March 2013? And I have a few SMSs. I'll just read one in the interest of time. Someone here is asking, it's illegal for party members to champion the interest of another party according to the Political Parties Act. How are they, I assume you're talking about Honorable Gachagua, in Jubilee and in UDA without resigning? And I'll give my guests a chance to respond to some of those questions. But first, Honorable Gachagua, I was coming to you. You've talked a lot about, and you've praised the first term of Jubilee with, you know, roads and all these projects that were conducted. But if you were to look at the headlines during the first term of Jubilee, Honorable Gachagua, this is what Kenyans were seeing. Scandal upon scandal. Afya House scandal, NYS 1 and 2, Eurobond, Galana Kulalu, NCPB. I could keep going on and on. In fact, in terms of a physical count, there were more scandals during the first term of Jubilee than the second term.
Well, the scandals,
how do you explain that?
The scandals are still there. Nothing has been done about it. We have the most recent, the COVID-19 billionaires.
That's one.
What I'm saying, the president gave an ultimatum of 21 days. It's 1 year now. Let me respond to what my colleague here said. I want first to clarify to him once more. Jubilee did not make any progress or any improvement in Kiambaa. Kareri Jama in 2017 was an independent candidate. The late Paul Koinange got 60,000 votes under Jubilee. Kareri Jama on his own got 15,000 votes. What he has increased is 6,000 votes. Okay? And that 6,000, it's a lot of work. Cash transfer program for the elderly, the chiefs and all that. So there's nothing that, in fact, the truth of the matter is that Jubilee messed Kareri Jama. Number two, and I wanted to say this. Kioni has said very well that President Kibaki was disinterested in his by-elections. True, and that is as it should be. President Uhuru Kenyatta is retiring. What is the interest? When Kioni says that William Ruto has put a candidate against that of the president, what is the president's interest? This man should be preparing to retire. His hands are full. He can try the remaining time to revive the economy. He can try to finish the projects that are yet to be done. And that's why we are saying ourselves, we are not in contest with President Uhuru Kenyatta. What we would want Jeremiah Kioni to say, he has said, William Ruto is losing the mountain. To who? not to Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta is not a candidate. So we cannot lose the mountain to Uhuru Kenyatta because he's not a candidate as far as you're concerned. What Jeremiah Kioni and his colleagues should tell us, who is their candidate? Is it Raila Odinga? Is it Gideon Moi? We would like to know when they say that Ruto has lost some little bit for the mountain, to who? You can only lose support to somebody. You cannot just lose it to the wilderness. And we're asking them, why are they fighting William Ruto without a candidate? Can Jeremiah Kioni look at the people of Daragwa into the face, the people of Nyandarua, and tell them his candidate is Raila Odinga or is Gideon Moi? Then people can know when you tell them to leave William Ruto, they are leaving William Ruto to go to who? Wahiga, if you wanted to go to holiday to Mombasa, and you are clear you want to go to holiday, then somebody tells you, no, don't go to Mombasa. They must tell you to go to Naivasha or to go to Kisumu. They cannot just tell you not to go to Mombasa.
Okay.
They must give you an alternative. So I would like Honorable Kioni to tell the people of Daragwa today, the people of Nyandarua, the people of the Mount Kenya region, who the hell is your presidential candidate?
Okay.
Yeah, whom are you backing?
It's after 10 p.m., but you made your point without invoking that. Who is your candidate?
We actually smoked them out in Kiambaa with that answer, because they had defined our presidential candidate for the mountain, and they had the alternative, and he has mentioned them. Those are their candidates, the ones they would want to run against, so that it becomes easier for you. We know what to do. Watch the space. You keep running against your own opponents, we know who the opponents are. And it is not my business to come and disclose it here. That is political engineering. But I'm really amused. But they decided, they said our candidate is Raila, our candidate is Gideon, and they have been running against Raila and against Gideon. What will become of them when we finally said, this is our candidate? And it turns out to be anything that they had never imagined, or even what they had imagined, and we did our work. So we know what to do. And that's why I'm amused, because you can see the amount of energy they have spent for 4 years, learning against a candidate that they chose for us and put it there, because it's easier for that candidate. We know what to do. We have work to do, and we have things to do. Let me say this, because I don't want to get swallowed by... I think we have addressed that issue for long, and I want to say this. We have said something very crucial. The scandals of the first term of Jubilee and the scandals of the second term of Jubilee. Kenyans look, compare, look at it, tell us, when is it that we were more scandalous to the Kenyans?
So
when is it that we stole? When is it, allow me to finish, when is it that we stole more money that we were supposed to have used to deliver services to the Kenyans? Was it the first term or the second term when Uhuru is around? That is something that nobody needs to be guided.
So you admit
we have
that,
the KEMSA thing that we need to deal with, and I hope we can be dealing with it within this parliament. But without doubt, we lost more resources. We spent a lot of time trying to run against the people who are steering throughout, and I do not want to say more, because that came from your head.
No, but you're confessing tonight that more resources were lost in the first time. I mean,
without doubt, because we had those 9, 10, 20 scandals that were mentioned. And those scandals, those loopholes needed to have been sealed. That, I hope, it's not where the discord came in. And I don't want you to...
No, my question to you this evening is, why should Kenyans listen to either of you then?
Let me just say...
Because he's just admitted that a lot of money has been stolen. Both of you belong to the same party. Why
you called us to answer you to a question. I've answered you, don't seem to like my answer. But I will still go on and say this.
I'm probing further.
Jubilee... I have seen people saying that Jubilee is dead, or all those kind of things. One is that I don't think it's anything to be worried about. When you see quarrels within a party, go back to the year 2002. From 2002 to 2017, there is no political party that was formed within a year of elections that won the elections. Political parties have been formed within a year, within 3 months, within 6 months, PNU, the Rainbow, TNA, and they have come to win elections. So these are things that you expect. Movement of chairs, people quarreling, eventually an outfit will be agreed upon that will help one way or another. There is time. Imagine a day in politics, and we have a whole more than a year to go.
Okay, let him now respond.
Wahiga, during the first term there were scandals?
There was an issue of resignation that you wanted me to talk about.
We'll come to that. Let's get into the scandals discussion.
There were scandals during the first term,
I've counted
Uhuru
at least
Kenyatta
10.
was president of the Republic of Kenya.
In a government that we are told William Ruto had an
he was
equal
president of the
share.
Republic of Kenya. He has sufficient time to have those people arrested and prosecuted.
What role was
during
William?
the second term?
Yes.
Uhuru Kenyatta is still president. It is during the second term, President Kenyatta himself is on record saying that 2 billion shillings is being lost daily, himself, during the second term. So, I did not hear 2 billion shillings being stolen daily in the first term, but himself, and he is on record, during the second term, saying that 2 billion shillings is being stolen daily. The president has sufficient mechanism to deal with corruption during the first term and the second term. Let us not just talk about corruption. Let us deal with it. Let us have people convicted, not just being taken to court.
But do you admit that you cannot outrightly praise the first term of Jubilee with these
what
scandals?
I can say, William Ruto and President Uhuru Kenyatta must take responsibility for the ills and the successes of the first term. President Kenyatta must take responsibility for the ills and the gains during the second term. He is alone. William Ruto is not there in the second term. So let's agree, during the first term, the president and his deputy takes credit for what is good, take responsibility for what is bad. During the second term, the president himself, with his brother Raila, they take credit for what is good and take responsibility for what is bad.
Okay.
Let me say, there's a question as to why we are in UDA and why we are in Jubilee. We follow our leaders. The president taught us. In Kibra, his people, Commander, Waiguru, everybody were campaigning for the ODM candidate. They were not disciplined by anybody. We learned from him. In Msambweni, he was photographed with the ODM candidate. We have learned from the president, and we have taken cue. He has not resigned. They say they want to join ODM. We have joined ODA. It's a draw. They join ODM as we join UDA.
Do you have a plan of when you'll form an
Yes, I can
exit?
tell you with
When is
certainty, Wahiga. After Kiambaa, even before Kiambaa, many members of parliament, I can tell you today, the members of parliament genuinely in Jubilee are not more than 10. They are coming to us at night, we have meetings. After Kiambaa, there are less than 5 people who are genuinely in Jubilee. And I must give credit to Honorable Kioni. He is one of them. Yeah? Others are coming. They are lining up. And I can tell you, all politics is local. The Honorable Jeremiah Kioni knows more than I do. And I hope he has learned his lessons. In 2013, he went against the grain. He did not listen to the people of Daragwa. He did not listen to the people of Nyandarua. People wanted Uhuru Kenyatta. He abandoned Uhuru Kenyatta. He went to Musalia Mudavadi. He stayed out in the cold. In 2017, he learned his lessons. He came back to where the people are. Let the Honorable Kioni listen to the people of Daragwa, listen to the people of Nyandarua, and listen to them very keenly. Because on an election year, by the way, you don't listen to Uhuru Kenyatta, you don't listen to Matiang'i, you don't listen to the county commissioner, you listen to the voters. It's up to the Honorable Jeremiah Kioni, this time round, having learned his lesson in 2013, to listen to the people of Daragwa.
Okay.
And when I listen, because I have relatives in a place called Shamata, where he knows, I have listened to them. They are in UDA, they are with William Ruto. But it's up to him, the decision is his. Because he is going to face the voters in another 12 months, he has to decide whether he wants to listen to the people, or he wants to listen to President Kenyatta, or whether he wants to listen to Raila, or what he wants. The decision is his.
I want him to respond to that, because I did not see 5 MPs yesterday at Jubilee.
And I really don't think I want to respond to that. You know, we can waste Kenyans' time by engaging in issues that are not useful. The lessons that I ran in 2013, he knows very true about them. He may think there was a praise that was code. I do not know what it means to be code. So I don't want to continue with this line of propaganda. I wanted to say this because it is important. That it is very, very important for Kenyans to understand. And I hope we are going to talk about these issues of the constituency, because it's a very important thing.
We are coming to that.
We cannot remain on this issue of propaganda forever. The aspect of handshake, any person who wants to become the president of this republic must be a person who will be ready to embrace the person who he beat. There is no greater leadership in a person than that person who extended his hands or his hand to that person he defeated. And I tell you, there is leadership with the other person if he accepts that hard. And I want to tell you, because I was there 2007, I was there 2002, we were there in the making of the Constitution. It is all about negotiating and reaching out. We cannot remain in a country that fights every other time. We want leaders occupying the office of State House who can be able, after they have won, to go out and say, Dugu, tulishidana, wacha sasa tuweke ikado, kuja tufanye kazi. That is a mark of leadership, a mark of maturity, and a mark of the kind of a leader we want in this country. Because we are 42 tribes, and the one that can help us is the one who will reach out to the other tribes, not the one who will exclude the others. If I reach out to Wahiga and he gets annoyed because I've reached out to you, there must be something wrong with him. That I leave it to Kenyans to decide. And I am saying, move this debate beyond the issues of propaganda. Look at where do we want as a country. Look at the leaders that we are having. Forget about the quarrels that you are seeing in Jubilee or people being in UDA. I have no quarrel with UDA. It is another political party. When time comes, it will have its time. And I'm saying it is only dishonest. It's only dishonest levels, or a person who is not honest, who can actually then say, like what my colleagues are saying in Parliament. And he has made a very scary statement that President Uhuru Kenyatta is alone. He's been working alone this term. William Ruto is not there. That's not fair to the Deputy President, because I have heard him say, we are in this government together. He complains about the coming in of Raila Odinga, but he's now telling us Uhuru has been doing it alone. So he's actually confirming that Uhuru has been delivering on the promises that they made to Kenyans under Jubilee flag 2017. How much more would we have delivered if the two of them continued delivering on the promises they make? That is my problem with the betrayal level. Never betray the person that you actually agreed to support. That don't do.
Okay, both of you.
And I want to say this.
Yes.
Let me say this again.
Yeah.
I don't know why Mheshimiwa thinks that when it comes to Madeira, and we also have relatives in these places. By the way, Kenyans needs to know, it's very difficult to find a member of parliament who doesn't have relatives across these constituencies. We will all be facing voters. There is nowhere where we are going to tell them that we are not facing them. I hope that he remembers that as I face the voters of Daragwa, he will also be facing voters in Madeira. All of us have to go back and be accountable. When that time comes, we know what to do.
Okay. I want to give us a chance to get into the constituencies discussion, but just before that, Honorable Gachagua, you've reminded us of what the President spoke of in vernacular a few months back about the loss of taxpayers' money, about the number I think was 2 billion Kenya shillings a day or something to that extent. But I want to personalize this question for you. You have been accused personally, Honorable Gachagua, of using proxies to fraudulently secure tenders, using 22 companies with you as the sole beneficiary. In fact, you're listed as one of the beneficiaries of the First Times financial improprieties, unaccountable tendering, and so forth. There are Kenyans watching this program tonight.
Yeah.
I want to give you a chance to set it on the record.
Wahiga, when I did business, I was not a state officer, okay? I was not a governor, I was not an MP, I was not a PS, I was just an ordinary citizen. Working with other people is not a crime in this country, Wahiga. Today, if you had a tender, you win, and you come to me and you say, I have this tender for 20 million, I need 15 million. Can you lend it to me? And I give it to you, do the tender. When you are paid, you pay me back. It's not a crime. That's what I did. I worked with many people. And I had no reason to use proxies because I did not need to hide my identity because I was not a public servant. Nobody can accuse me of abuse of office. Those allegations have been there.
So even now, as an MP, are not controlling companies.
Nothing has been brought up I have done when I'm a member of parliament. These are things that happened 10, 12 years ago. You know, clean business. And that is why I'm being persecuted in the press. I have asked them, if you have evidence that I have stolen, take me to court and I will face justice and I will be vindicated. You know, but you can't just accuse somebody in the newspapers. You cannot accuse somebody for business he did 12 years ago that it is a crime to do business with Wahiga. There is no crime.
Because I want to ask you this. You're telling us this evening that you can account for every shilling,
every cent that I own in this country. Every cent that I have earned is clean money, and it's upon those who allege to prove. You know, the laws of natural justice, Wahiga says you cannot condemn a man unharmed. All those allegations were not there before I supported William Ruto. I was PA for Uhuru Kenyatta. Those allegations were not there. All the years I supported Uhuru Kenyatta, nobody had a problem with the way I'm doing business.
Okay.
You know, before, because
these things
I did in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014.
Because I want to give you a chance to settle these allegations this evening.
Yes.
For example, we are told that 202 million shillings from your personal accounts were frozen.
Yes, they were.
Where did you get that money from?
I got money from business, and I've accounted for every cent in court.
What businesses are
I have explained in court. 20 million, I did business here. These are the papers. 13 million, these are the papers.
Now give us a rough idea.
No, those are matters before court, but I can tell you. They froze, and I was called upon to explain. And they should have asked me to explain before they froze. They did it the other way around. They froze, and the court asked me to explain. The matter is coming up for hearing, and I can tell you I have no iota of worry that I'll account for every cent that I own. My concern is, why was I not be asked where I made money when I was with Uhuru Kenyatta as his PA? When I was campaigning for him 2017, nobody had a problem with where I got money from. They only have a problem when they're trying to intimidate me to abandon William Ruto. And I said, I'm a very pre-sport person, Wahiga. I am not a man of yesterday. I'm a son of the Mau Mau. My parents were in the forest fighting for independence. I am not a fellow who is easily scared by anything. I am saying I made my money properly within the law. I have not broken any law, and because in the fullness of time.
And you've made your point quite strongly. Your critics say that you use politics to shield and confuse those
what
who
politics? I did not have any position.
Would question, no, right now.
I did not have any position.
As we speak, your political position to shield
the issues,
those who would want to further interrogate the source of their wealth.
The issues that are being raised happened long before I became a member of parliament. 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 8 years ago. Nobody then was asking me a question until when I was called and intimidated to abandon William Ruto, or I'll see what will happen. And I said I will not abandon him. And then things started flowing, a lot of intimidation, a lot of harassment. And I am saying myself, I'm innocent. I am ready. If the DCI has evidence against me, he can arraign me in court. I'll have my day in court. I'll be able to account for every cent that I own. Okay. It is upon him to prove that the money that I have is proceeds of crime. Okay. It's not me to prove.
Okay.
You know, and I'm saying, Wahiga, let us not use the criminal justice system to manage politics. Politics is managed through persuasion, consultation, and concurrence. You get people and talk to them. Don't intimidate me that you said the DCI to me if I have this. Even 2 weeks ago, I was threatened that if I don't get out of Kiambaa, I will be arrested and taken to court. I told them I'm ready. Even today, I'm ready. Anytime anybody is ready to take me to court, I'm ready.
Okay,
because
you've
I'm
made your point. And we do want to talk about the constituencies because our time is quickly running out. Honorable Gachagua, I believe I've given you a chance to explain yourself on that. Let's take that break. I want to look at a few more SMSs and tweets as we talk about this constituencies discussion that Honorable Kioni has raised today, and take a few final questions because the time is not on our side. You're watching Newsnight. Stay with us. We'll be right back.